Tonight we are remembering the original Spring Football League, the United States Football League. This is the 40th anniversary of the USFL's final season, and in honor of that, we've created team cards for second season pro football games so we can all enjoy and remember it again. Hello again, Keith Avalone from PLAAY Games. Sam is producing tonight's show as usual. I don't mind telling you, we fast-tracked this season so that it could be playable before the what would have been the end of the 40th anniversary season. The season officially ended on July 14th of 1985 at Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands, where the Baltimore Stars defeated the Oakland Invaders 28-24, and what was really a great game to watch. I watched it live. I watched it on videotape. It's on YouTube, as pretty much everything is these days. So you can, if you're not familiar with it, you can watch it. Keith Jackson and Lynn Swan doing the color and play-by-play was a great game, and there was a lot of questions about what was going to happen, because at that point the USFL was moving to a fall season, planning to move to a fall season in 1986. That never happened. We won't go into that. We're in a celebratory mood tonight, not a down, depressed mood. But the USFL was quite the spring pro football league. They had a lot of great stars, and we're going to see some of those folks in action tonight on the game table. It's viewer's choice tonight. Oh, and before I move ahead to our viewer's choice, many thanks to Neil Maitland for putting the pedal to the metal and proofing this set and getting all the errors weeded out in time for this broadcast tonight. Thanks so much, Neil. I always appreciate Neil so much. He does such a great job. It's viewer's choice tonight. As to which game we're going to play, we have a poll going, and we encourage you to take a look and vote for the matchup that you'd like to see on the game table tonight. We have four choices: Oakland and Baltimore. That was actually the final USFL game, the championship game that I just referred to as a 28-24 Baltimore win. We could replay that. You can choose New Jersey against Denver. That's kind of a heavy run versus a heavy pass offense. The Generals had Herschel Walker and pretty much gave him the ball every play. They also had Doug Flutie, but Doug Flutie didn't pass very much for the Generals in 1985. On the other hand, Denver, the Gold, had the run-and-shoot offense. Mouse Davis, who had been promoted from the offensive coordinator in Houston and took over as head coach of the Denver Gold, brought the run-and-shoot to Denver, and they passed all the time. So that's a great matchup of pass versus run. Then Tampa Bay and Houston. The Gamblers, of course, were the original run-and-shoot team, and Tampa Bay was bandit ball with Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach. A couple of teams with 10-8 records, which will be a great matchup. And then our final choice is Birmingham and Memphis, sort of a battle of the South. Memphis, of course, led on defense by Reggie White. They had a really good defense, a very strong defense, a very NFL-caliber defense for the Showboats. And Birmingham was also a very strong team, particularly in the trenches. So that would be a good matchup, kind of an all-South power battle. So you got a couple minutes to vote. I'm going to go through real quickly. Not going to spend a whole lot of time because you can get this set and reminisce on your own. But just I'm going to go through each team and just kind of. Are we on the game, the tape? Okay, just going to go through each team's team card and just a couple of 10 seconds, 15 seconds worth of thoughts for each team. This is your cover card. You've got some data. You've got the standings, the fringe players. And then I did make an injury exemption list in case you want to, have your results, more closely echo real life and keep, the star players from not participating. Although, as I say that, Jim Kelly is one of the reasons why the Gamblers were not as good in '85 as they were in '84 is because Jim Kelly spent a good chunk of the season injured, and Todd Dillon had to run and shoot. But if you want to restrict the injuries, we do have an injury exemption chart. And then, of course, the incident results chart. Now let's go to the teams. They are in bold 1980s sort of a style. The Arizona Outlaws. This was one of the two clubs that merged in the 85 season. The league contracted from 18 teams down to 14 teams. They had 18 teams in 1984. The Chicago Blitz and the Pittsburgh Maulers, well, the Blitz disbanded or suspended operations. They didn't withdraw from the league. They were intending to play once the league moved to the fall, or that was the idea anyway. The Pittsburgh Maulers did fold. The Oklahoma Outlaws merged with the Arizona Wranglers to become the Arizona Outlaws, and they had a pretty good team. They had Doug Williams was their quarterback, the former Washington Redskin, Reggie Brown, Kevin Long, the Jets back. So they were a decent team. Coming off, really, the Wranglers had gone to the championship game in the '84 season, but for some reason, one reason or another, they just didn't put it together and finished with a losing record in '85. There's Baltimore, the Stars. Jim Mora. They had actually a very slow start. I think they were 1-4, 1-4-1 to start the season, but then they found their stride, and by the end of the season, were the league's most dominant team. Plenty of great players like Kelvin Bryant, Bart Oates, who went on to play for the Giants for so many years. Irv Eatman, All-Pro, offensive tackle. Sam Mills, Hall of Fame linebacker. Plenty. It's impressive the kind of talent that the USFL is able to put on the field. And of course, teams did not have that kind of depth, but they did have some pretty solid players throughout each of the teams. At least each team had at least a few really marquee type players. Birmingham, led by Cliff Stout. Raleigh Dodge was their coach. They had a great offensive line: Pat Phoenix, Pat Sandin, Buddy Adelette, Phil McKinley, former NFL star. Joe Cribbs was their came down from Buffalo, was their star running back. Defensively, they're pretty strong too. Chuck Clanton had tons of interceptions in '85, and so they had a very strong record. I want to say they were 13-5 or 14-4, and were one of the teams to be reckoned with before getting upended in the playoffs by Baltimore. Denver also had a winning record. They had the run and shoot offense. Bob Galliano ran it mostly, although Vince Evans played quite a bit as well. Didn't have a lot of name value, but Mouse Davis was able to make this offense work pretty well. Bill Johnson was a pretty solid running back. Of course, we already talked about the Gamblers with Jim Kelly. All these guys went on to play in the NFL. Gerald McNeil, Ricky Sanders, Clarence Verdun, Richard Johnson. So they had a high-powered passing attack that rang up a lot of points and a decent defense too. Jacksonville was one of those teams that they finished 9-9. Couple of breaks could have put them in the playoffs. They picked up Brian Sipe after the Generals went with Flutie. Ed Luther played most of the season at quarterback. They had Mike Rozier, the former Heisman Trophy winner, as their running back, and Vaughn Johnson anchored they had a decent defense, mainly because of Vaughn Johnson, who later went on to play in the NFL as an All-Pro with the Saints, and Keith Millard, who was an All-Pro with the Vikings, both on the Jacksonville defense. Here's the LA Express. LA took a big dive in 1985, despite the fact that they had Steve Young. John Hadel was their coach. They had ownership problems. They had all kind of problems off the field. On the field, it wasn't that bad of a team. They had Gary Zimmerman, who I believe is in the Hall of Fame after playing his career with the Vikings, and a number of other guys who contributed. Wyman Henderson had a long NFL career, and of course Steve Young, but they just had too many problems off the field, and their coach John Hadel just couldn't keep them competitive. The Memphis Showboats, with Pepper Rogers as the coach, Walter Lewis was the mobile quarterback. Mike Kelly came in, was the passing quarterback. They kind of did a two-time double team type thing, tag team sort of thing. Tim Spencer from the Bears at fullback. Pretty good. There's Lewis Sharp, also another All-Pro offensive lineman. Memphis had a very good team. Reggie White, of course, was the ringleader at defensive end. Had a very good team, and were a playoff team in '85. The New Jersey Generals, of course, with Doug Flutie and Herschel Walker and Maurice Carthen. They had and Kent Hall, who many years an All-Pro in the NFL. They had just a pulverizing ground attack. Their passing game was not very well fleshed out with Flutie, but they didn't really have to pass that much. They had such a great running game. Walker ran for over 2,400 yards and a bunch of touchdowns, so they were dominant on the ground. There's the Oakland Invaders, the championship runner-up with Bobby Hebert. Us Saints fans remember him. Anthony Carter at wide receiver. This was a really good team. It really was. If they played in the NFL, they'd be probably a 500 team, I think, with the lineup that they had. Plenty of players on defense. Good offensive firepower. Really good team. Orlando Renegades had just moved from Washington. They were not a very good team. Lee Corso was their coach, and they just didn't have a lot of good players. They were one of the bottom feeders. They did have some. Tom Dornbrook was a well-known offensive lineman. Joey Walters played many years in the Canadian League. But this is a forgettable team that will serve to pile up the wins for everybody else when they play them. Kind of the same thing with the Portland Breakers. This is their third city. They, of course, first year they played in Boston. Then they played 1984 in New Orleans. In 1985, they moved to Portland. They were the Breakers all 3 years. Dick Corey was their coach all 3 years. They had this team would have been a much better team had Marcus Dupree not gotten injured. But he is injured. He's on the fringe player list. He only ran really one game, then he tore up his knee. But if you want to put him in, this will be a much better team, and they will compete for a playoff spot. But without him, they're iffy. San Antonio Gunslingers. The thing I remember, so I saw the San Antonio Gunslingers play at Alamo Stadium. I was there for their very first game. The thing I always think about when I think of the San Antonio Gunslingers, not a great run organization. The USFL had a rule that you had to have the stadium capacity. It was a minimum 30,000 seats. You had to have at least 30,000 seats to get a USFL team. Well, Alamo Stadium only sat about 18,000, 19,000 people. So what they would do is every game they would set up 5,000 folding chairs outside each end zone. Just beyond the end zone, they set up 5,000 folding chairs to bring the capacity up to 30,000. Nobody ever sat in those chairs, but they set them up, and that was the San Antonio Gunslingers. This team was not great. They won 5 games. Rick Neuheisel was a decent quarterback, but they didn't have really much else. And then Bandit Ball with the Tampa Bay Bandits. John Reeves, the quarterback, former Eagle. He was a good passer in the USFL, very consistent. They had Gary Anderson, who later went on to play with the Chargers, and Marvin Harvey was a decent tight end. Nate Newton played so many years with the Cowboys. He was on Tampa Bay. And they had some guys on defense, too. Al Richardson, James Harrell, Mike Butler played many years with the Packers. All these guys played in the USFL, and a lot of people don't realize it was impressive, I think, particularly compared to the later incarnations of spring football, which have kind of gone the route of, well, we're just going to be a feeder league to the NFL. That's what we hope to do. These guys really went for the brass ring, and while they didn't succeed, it's still it's still worth remembering them, I think. So that's our little tour of the USFL. What game are we playing tonight, Sam?
We just got one last vote in that broke the tie. We're playing New Jersey versus Denver.
New Jersey?
Tampa Bay Houston was right up there.
Oh, those both would have been good games. We'll go with the New Jersey and Houston, or New Jersey and Denver. We are in Denver, so we'll make them the home team. And it'll be fun to see Herschel Walker. So here we go. We'll set these guys aside, and we're going to get ready to play some football. Second Season Express. We'll get it set up here and get it rolling. We won't need the paper field. Got our dice. We'll use, should I use black for Denver, or I'll use black for Denver because that was their main color. They did have gold on their helmets, and we'll use red for New Jersey. And we'll let Denver get the first half kick. So help me remember that New Jersey, in fact, I'm going to write it down. I always tend to forget it. New Jersey gets the second half kickoff. Okay, here we go. We're going to start off and see what happens. So the goal will start in the second zone, and we will go with a pass sequence, of course, against a safe defense. These guys passed a lot, but they didn't pass as much as the Gamblers did. The Gamblers passed like 80% of the time. Denver was about 70%. All right, pass sequence versus safe defense, 36. Defense penalty sustains the drive, so a New Jersey penalty will, I guess I need to do this. 15, 14, 13. So the fresh set of downs for the gold, and we will go with another pass sequence against another safe defense. Let's see, passer's Y grade is a 5. Oh, he's probably going to throw an interception, unless I roll, yep, it's greater than 1, so it's picked off. So Bob Galliano throws the interception. I may have to go with Vince Evans. Let's check the field position on this. 3 zones ahead. So he threw it deep, kind of like a punt. Threw it deep and was picked off. We won't mess with the finders to see who intercepted the pass. All right, so the Generals on offense, and we'll go ahead with a run sequence against a safe defense. And let's see, 53. Checking the linebackers, there are no 2s at this point, so Herschel Walker will bust. Oh, it's an XR gain right from the get-go. 4 zones. So that may not have been 1 run, but he probably busted off a chunk. He might have broken off a long run. So the Generals are threatening. We'll do another run sequence against a passing defense. That's not good. Checking the offensive line for any zeros, and it looks like they do not have any at this point, so that is going to be a gain, and they are going to score, and the extra point will be good. And the Generals, oh, I forgot my handy-dandy scoreboard. Dang it! I like having the little scoreboard on the play mat. Nah, well, you know what? I can use this. I've got Al Wilson's.
Oh yeah.
Let me use that. Is that visible?
That is not visible. You put it over the second season. Yeah.
All right. Let me dump some of these out. Thank you, Al, for this scoreboard. I just happen to have it right handy. All right, so it's 7-0. I need a 7 though. The guest leads 7-0. Be sure to patronize 3D6 Gaming, will you? Thank you. Al's the best. Okay. All right. So here's the kickoff, and it's going to be the Gold will take over at the 20. All right. Let's see if they can move the ball. We'll do a run sequence against a blitzing defense. Looks like it's going to be. I'm checking the linebackers for the Generals. They had a very solid defense, and that's going to mean that they're going to stop the Gold on this drive and force a punt. And it's an O result. It's a wow result. Oh, it's a great punt. Well, he's going to kick it like a touchback. So they're going to take this a huge long punt that rolls and rolls and rolls into the end zone, and the Generals will have to take over there. So Jim Asmus with the big long punt. We've got 7 minutes to play in the period. Generals on top. All right, we'll do a run sequence against a pass defense. When are they going to learn? That will be a gain of 2 zones. Run again. This time they're in the run defense. And we're going to check the defensive lineman, and the Denver defensive line is solid enough to wrestle down Walker and force a 4th down. How about that? Punt. And it will be only a 2-zone punt. Well, it could have been a 3-zone punt with a 1-zone return. So the Gold will get the ball just outside their 35. So they made the stop. Nice. We'll try a pass sequence against a blitzing defense. Galliano back to pass. Don't have any wide receivers rated 2, so that will be an incomplete, and they'll be forced to punt again. It'll be a 4-zone punt. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's where we are as the Generals start inside their own 20. After another great punt from Jimmy Asmus, been the Gold's best weapon so far. I was going to say, let's try a pass, but let's not. We're going to run. The New Jersey offensive tendency is +5. Now, I know it only goes up to a 4, but you'll have to accommodate that because that's how much they ran. 31, at least one player rated run 2 in the offensive backfield. Well, Herschel's a 2, so he's going to slash past the defenders and get a zone gain. Last play of the period. We'll go ahead and try a pass Ooh, they're in the pass defense, though. That's... So Flutie drops back. And fortunately for him, there's not enough strength. They do have 2 twos on defense, but not 3. So that's going to be an X gain. That would have been a turnover. And the Gold was very close to having it. But instead, it's going to be an X gain. Oh, it's a go gain. That is going to be 6 zones. That's going to be a score 1, 2, 3, 4. So Flutie connects. Clarence Collins as the quarter comes to an end. And the extra point is good. Generals up 14-0. I need a 1 here. There it is. All right, so the Generals up 14-0 as we start the second period. Gold will start right here. Might be time to go to Vince Evans. We'll let Galliano have one last shot against a blitzing defense. Well, I say one last shot. We'll let him have one more sequence before we think about pulling in Evans. Check on the defensive line, and they're going to put pressure on Galliano and sack him to force the punt. Now, the way I play it is in my side of the territory, we don't move it back. In this side of the field, we do. So that's why I'm not moving it back. Not a great punt either. So the Generals are going to get the ball just shy of the 50. With a chance to really put this game out of reach. And I think I see Vince Evans warming up on the sideline. We're going to give it to Walker. Ooh, run defense. The Mile High Stadium crowd is murmuring. Herschel Walker is going to bust through for a gain. Because he's a super durable runner. He only gets 1, but he does avoid the punt. They'll go again. This time they're blitzing. And he will get a touchdown. He busts through the goal defense right past Craig Walls and Darrell Hemphill and into the end zone. And look at that. 21-0. Why did we choose this game? We should have gone with the Bandits. I'm kidding. 21-0. Wow. Here's the kickoff. Oh, I guess I just need 1. And they'll start here. So now we're going to see Vince Evans. With the Generals up 21-0. See if he can make something happen. We'll start with a run. In fact, maybe he'll do the carrying. And no gain. We'll get a second chance though. And did they have video review? I don't think they did. We won't play with video review. I don't even remember whether they had video review in 1985. I don't think they did. They will get a second chance though. We'll just see if it wouldn't have been a turnover anyway. They would have the call would have been upheld anyway. So it wasn't even a close call. We'll try a pass sequence against a run defense. Must have been 3rd and short. Well, if ever there was a chance for Vince Evans to make something happen, it's right now. Check on the defensive back. I know that Kerry Justine is a 2. He will force the incompletion. Kerry Justine bats it away. And the Gold will punt again. And another terrible punt just outside the 50. And they haven't stopped the Generals once. Walker. Yes. Carthon with the big block. And it's another XR gain. Oh my gosh. They're killing him 3 zones. Stay on the ground against a blitzing defense. We do have a 0 defensive back. Nate Miller's going to grasp and miss. And that will be a touchdown. With 5 minutes to go in the half. Here's the extra point. Ooh, 64. I think that, let me check. He's an A. 11-64. Roger Ujik barely hooks it through.
Ricky Berner says that they started video review in 1985. I don't know if that's for the USFL.
Did they have it in the USFL or did they have it in the? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. They had a. I think they had a. I should have looked it up. I don't remember. I don't remember whether that was one of the innovations that the NFL copied. Whether there were some innovations that were tried out, and then the NFL said, "Oh, that's a good idea. Let's use that." Like the 2-point conversion, I think was the USFL had the 2-point conversion, and I want to say the NFL adopted it in 84, 85. Anyway, 4 minutes to go in the half, and the Generals are killing them 28-0, and looks like we are going to start the gold right here. Maybe we'll break to the Bandit Gambler game. Let's cut away. Here we go. We'll give it a run sequence with Johnson. 14 runner is an A. No, yeah, he is an A, right? He is an A. No, he's not. He swarmed over, but drive is still alive. 2-minute warning. They got to pass. Come on, Evans, do something. They've done nothing. All right, they are going to get something here though. Checking his X, it is a 4, so they will get some zones here. With a minute and a half to play, they need to get on the board. Pass sequence again. Safe defense. The Generals' pass rush is not sufficient to keep Evans from hooking up with Leonard Harris for 2 zones. 1 minute to play. Pass sequence again against the pass defense. We're checking to see if he's an AA or better. He's only a single A, so it's incomplete. We'll take the field goal. They got to get something, right? From the 3rd zone. What is he? He's a B. I don't know. 11-35. We'll try it. 42. He missed it. All right, so that's a fitting way to end the half with the Generals up 28-0. I'm tempted to switch to a different game. I don't know. We'll finish this, I guess. Generals get the ball to start the second half. I just don't see. Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe they'll turn it around. Let's see. The Generals will start back at the 20. We'll try a run sequence, of course. We're not showcasing the USFL very well tonight, I'm afraid. Offense penalty kills the drive. Okay, so there's the kick, there's the penalty, and they will have to punt. And it will be a 4-zone kick. So the goal will take over here. Let's bring Galliano back in. Evans didn't do much. Pass sequence. Surely they're going to eventually get something going, right? Yeah, they're going to complete that for 2 zones. Past the 50. Beyond the 50, they get into General's territory. We'll stick with the pass. Ooh, and it's against a run sequence. Bill Johnson was like a 1,000-yard rusher for the goal, so they did actually do some decent running. And once again, Kerry Justine is going to break that up. But I believe they're going to get... Yes, they're going to get a 3rd down play. Let's try Johnson up the middle. Ooh, and they're in the pass defense, looking for the pass. They should be able to get that right. Check to see if anybody's rated 0 on the offensive line. Yes, they are. You got Greg Fiesel and Frank Khalil both. So, missed block. Johnson's dropped. And they're going to have to go for it on 4th down, I think. We'll try a pass sequence against a blitz. Yeah, I think he's going to complete it. Yes, because Leonard Harris is the double-star receiver, so Harris is going to make the key grab. Oh, it's a big one, too. He's going to not quite score. Down inside the 10. Let's see if Johnson can tote it in against the blitzing defense. Nope. Yes, he is. The defense cannot stop him. Not enough beef on the defensive line to keep Bill Johnson from crashing across. And the extra point. Oh, 64. I guess, yeah, Asmus is going to kick it. So they do get something on the board here. 28-7. Oops. If I could get the 7 to slip in there. There we go. All right, here's the kickoff. And they'll start, yeah, decent kickoff. So the Generals will start at the 20. And we're not, I think we've called one pass sequence so far, haven't we? And went for a touchdown. I don't think now's not the time to do it again, but we'll go and run. But they are going to have to do something to loosen this up a little bit. See, run, play, safe defense. Offense penalty kills the drive. Oh, the Gold could get back in. And it's a bad punt, too. Only 2 zones. So the Gold will take over inside the 50. Fans are stirring a little bit. Galliano back to pass. Oh, against a run defense. They were looking for Johnson. Galliano's going deep. Oops, let me get the right play here. It is complete. Check his cue. Sufficiently large. Oh, we rolled the 1. That should have been a touchdown. Instead, we only get 2 zones out of it. We'll pass again. Again, run. Yeah, that should put it in there. 2 or more players ready to pass on the offensive line. No, they don't have to be like that. It's incomplete, but they're going to get a 3rd down. Try again. Safe. Pass, I mean. Any wide receiver or tight end rated 2 on the pass? No, their best one is a 1. That'll be incomplete. I think they've got to go for it. They will go for it. I don't know. 18. If they get a field goal, it'd be 20-10. It'd be 18 points. I think they got to go for it. We'll try to throw it in. Safe defense. Checking the offensive backfield. Oh, look at that. There is nobody back there with those 0, so they are going to score. Unless I roll. Well, even if I roll a 1, and I rolled a 1. They do get a 1st down, though. This is excruciating. All right, they'll try to hammer it in with Bill Johnson, right? Against a, they're inside the goal, so this is going to be a run defense. They should have thrown it. My bad. But there is Frank Mattiassi, who's is deficient on the run, so Johnson's going to bust through him to end the period, and the Gold, with the extra point, make it 28-14. Yeah, we got a little bit of a ball game here, right? That drive took longer than it should have, though. Man, they just had a couple of bad breaks that kept them out of the end zone. Kickoff. Oh, it's an O result. Maybe it'd be a fumble. It is. Look at that. So the Gold are going to take over right there. Now, just to clarify, that may have the fumble may have happened on like the first play or like immediately after the kickoff. Didn't necessarily happen on the kickoff, but nevertheless, there it's a turnover, and the Gold are sitting right now inside the general 20, and they're going to try to capitalize with a pass sequence. 4th quarter, 28-14, and it's a pass defense. That hopefully will not hurt them. 36 defense penalty sustains the drive. 1st and goal. We'll try to throw it in. And it's a run defense. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It's a blitzing defense in the goal line. Pass sequence, blitzing defense. Let's see if Galliano can beat the general blitz. It is complete. He does. Thanks to Mark Lewis. That will be a touchdown. With 12 minutes to play, extra point is good, and it's 28-21. And we almost broke away. We'd be scrambling back. 28-21 with the 12 minutes to play. Yeah, that's excellent. All right, here's the kickoff. Oh, it's another O result. Let's see if he fumbles again. He does not. It is a 3-zone return. So it'll be the Generals will start at the 35 with 11 minutes to play. Flutie. I think Walt Michaels is telling him, throw the ball, will you? We gotta shake things up a little bit. So Flutie will go back to pass. It's a blitzing defense. Here comes the gold blitz led by John Nevins, who is now a 2-2 because he's got the game on the line star. We're checking to see if any wide receivers or tight ends are rated 0. Well, Bowers is a 0. Yes, in fact, both of them are. So it's going to be incomplete. And the gold will get the ball back. And it's another O result on the punt. It's a snap result. That could be blocked. So the gold fumbled it. Oh, that was a bad break. So he punted it. Gold is ready to take over with a chance to tie the game on the next drive, and instead they fumble it, giving the ball to the Generals inside the 35. That's a tough break. And they'll try to cap. We'll give it to Walker. Give it to Walker. That's what Walt Michaels would do. And we're checking the offensive line. Not enough beef there to spring him, but they do get a third down play with 8 minutes to go. Try again. This time they're in the pass. Must have been a little bit longer than short yardage. And it's going to blow right by Calvin Turner for a gain of 2 zones. 7 minutes to go. Give it to Walker again. Now at this point, I believe it's an automatically a run defense. That's going to be a blitzing defense, I guess. Well, we'll go with the blitz. And Nate Miller's going to miss the no, I'm sorry. It's going to be Calvin Turner is going to miss the tackle, and Walker's going to bust in for the touchdown. And the extra point is good, and that changes the complexion of this game dramatically. 35-21, New Jersey, with 6 minutes to go. Gold will start here. All right, well, we'll pass, obviously. Safe defense. Home team is on offense, yes. That will be an X gain. That will be a gain of 4 zones. Don't go away quite yet. Pass again. Run sequence. We're checking to see if anybody in the backfield is 0, and that is not the case because Vincent White is a 0+, so he's going to save them. They're going to get a completion, and they're going to get 2 zones out of that. Again, it should have been an XP gain, but he'll take it. 1st and goal with 4 minutes to play. Galliano rolls right. They're blitzing. Here comes Mike Weddington in his face. Galliano dumps it off. And it's incomplete. They got to go for it. We'll try throwing it in again. This time it is a run defense inside the goal line. .45. Home on offense, yes. So the fans are going to see a touchdown. They get the extra point, and he does. 35-28. That's more of what we expected. 2-minute warning. All right. I think they'll try to do they'll try to get the stop, I think. Three on the kickoff. Let's see here. I probably should go for the onside, really. Well, if they don't make it, that'll do it. We'll kick it. We'll kick it deep. So they're going to take over at the 20. Hold on. At the 20. And they will run. See if it's a run defense. It is a run defense. They should stop them. And Doug Mackey is a 0, so he'll miss the block. And they will have to punt. So the Golds are going to get the ball back. Oh, it's an O result. 2 zones. So a good return. The goal would get the ball. Is it just outside the 35? With last play of the game. They'll get a chance. They've got a chance. Are you saying they got a chance? They do. Pass sequence in that prevent defense. .42. Any tight end or wide receiver rated 0 on the pass? Yes, Lonnie Turner is indeed a 0. So it'll be incomplete. They would get a... Let's see if they would get one. They would get a third down play, but actually time would have run out. Let's just see. Let's let them get that last play off and see if they would have scored on fourth down. On third down, rather. Against pass defense. Yeah, probably not going to happen. Nope. In fact, it's almost intercepted, so that will be the ball game. 35-28, New Jersey. Now the Gold made a game of it, though. It was exciting. A couple of turnovers, got them back in the ball game. Of course, then their own turnover ultimately cost them a chance to tie the ball game. But yeah, there's your USFL fun league. We've rated them about 75% of the NFL, so they're not quite NFL caliber, but it's plenty entertaining, and I think you'll really enjoy this. No stream next week. I will actually be in Wisconsin. My wife and I will be visiting my daughter and her husband in Eau Claire for a few days, which reminds me, we'll be leaving on Wednesday, and so if you any orders we get will likely not go out until the following Monday, because we'll be in Wisconsin through returning Sunday. So keep that in mind. And our next stream will be Monday, June 16th. That's the Monday after I get back from Wisconsin. Sam is actually going to the Origins game convention in Columbus, which is why we're not streaming on the following Thursday. So we will stream on Monday, and that was actually going to be our last stream before PLAAY.con. It's hard to believe we're barreling fast towards our convention date at the end of June. So we'll have a special pre-con show for you on Monday, the 16th. Remember, Monday, the 16th. I have a really fun surprise planned for the convention goers. I'm working doggedly on it, and I think I'm pretty excited about it. So hopefully everybody else will be. So we'll talk about that on Monday's stream, and also any last-minute convention information. I also plan to have a Connect out that week, but first things first. So we'll see you on Monday the 16th. Till then, hopefully your summer's going well. You're enjoying good health, getting some good game time in, and just know that we appreciate you being here tonight. Thanks for taking some time, carving some time to out of your schedule to sit and watch us play a game. Now you go play a game, and we will catch you here in a couple weeks, right here on the Play Games YouTube channel.